Alright, good morning, afternoon by the time you see this. Obviously I'm not dressed for classroom attire, but this is how I'm moving around right now. Couple things before I go through the lesson. Number one, your tests are in the folder, so just ask Mrs. Kramers or whoever the sub is to hand back that test. I'll put the key up on the blog this evening, Tuesday evening. So if you want to check through, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Grades are updated right now. Also, you'll want to hand in the worksheet that you worked on yesterday. I did not put a key on the blog. I think I forgot, but there is a key laying around in that red binder that's on the table. So you can find that, and since the projector works, you can use that. So students, you're going to help out, maybe log into the blog. Obviously you had to if you're looking at this video. The worksheet answer key from Friday, the one day I was there last week, that answer key is on the blog. And we're going to go through some of this here in a minute. Also the book, you saw you've seen the assignments for the week. Today's will be all graphing, so if you don't have a graphing calculator, you need to really get one. Otherwise, it's just a lot more time for you. I'll put the take-home quiz that you'll be getting on Thursday. Those of you going to the wrestling tournament, you'll need to run that off prior to and take it home over the weekend. Hopefully I'll be back on Monday. I'm planning on it, but I'm moving pretty slow right now, so we'll see. Last thing, make sure you're checking your grades. Make sure that I haven't made any mistakes, and if you do see something or you have a question, just email me. Okay? Alright, now we're going to get started with basically it'll be one lesson, and then I'll stop it and we'll have another video lesson, and then I'm going to have just a short calculator thing. So it's 3 video lessons that shouldn't take a great deal of time. We're in my daughter's room, like I always say. I got a mirror pretty big, and it's just so we can see perfection every day. That's what we tell the kids. But we're going to move our way over here. And I told you my kids want to be teachers. So we got a whiteboard in here, and we're going to try to show you these equations. Now, here's in letter A, and you've seen this before, we're going to talk about just the vertical and horizontal asymptotes. I'm kind of getting away from the domain and the range on tonight's assignment. That's not as big a deal. So think about the vertical asymptote. Remember, no zero buts. No zero buts. Shortcut, take the denominator, set it equal to 0, and that'll give you your vertical asymptote. The other way is, what would make this equal to 0? Very simple. X equals 0. Now the other thing is the horizontal asymptote. The horizontal asymptote is what values for y will never exist. Now think about it logically. There is no possible way that we can make y equal to 0. We can think of any other number, yes. But anytime you don't have a letter up here, shortcut again, y is going to equal 0. The other way is just think logically. There's no way that 3 over x would equal 0. It's impossible. You cannot do it. So that's why there's your horizontal, there's your vertical asymptote. Now when we come down here to letter B, same thing for your horizontal asymptote. You got your x equals 0. Now vertical asymptote. Your horizontal will always be y equals whatever's added on. Again, this can't be 0, so therefore there's no way we could have a y value of 3. It's impossible. It would have to be 0 plus 3. It's impossible. So that's why the y equals 3. Let's start with the vertical here. The vertical is obviously going to be y equals -5. Your vertical asymptote, what would create a 0 but? -7. So pretty simple to this point. Okay, now let's go to letter E. Let's start with the vertical asymptote again. Again, set that equal to 0. What would cause that x value to make that a true statement or make it equal to 0? X equals 3. That's your vertical asymptote. We cannot have 3 as an x value. Now your horizontal asymptote. Now this leads into our next video here in a second. We're going to look at degrees. This is a degree 1, this is a degree 1. If the degrees are the same on top or bottom, 98% of the time you're going to have coefficients to look at. So take the coefficients of those x values, divide them. Take the coefficients and divide them, and that will give you your horizontal asymptote. Again, calculators can be helpful to look at. The calculators also create common sense. You can see a lot of things on those calculators. Those of you who don't have calculators, you can do these 4 quickly in your head or on paper. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Think.